Hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. Okay, in this last video, we're going to talk about the last phase and what I do there. Okay. Good. Okay, so what I have here is a little chart, which we'll get to. Now we need to open up roast path. So this is going to look a little wonkier just because I've squeezed this page in. But I guess we can do that right now. Okay, so here we go. Here it is. This is I think like a medium roast. Okay, so after first crack, typically what I was talking about before is that it would some coffees, they crash harder than others, meaning you'll see this ROR just kind of like go crazy down because at first crack it's releasing a lot of moisture, and so it's dropping the whole temperature. A pretty long middle phase, and that's because I want to get this guy pretty roasty for this particular blend. And what I'll do is I'll crank the air to high at this point. So I'm hearing pop, 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 pop. It's popping off. I'm calling first crack, and I'm marking it at let's see here, 378 at 925. Yeah, this is a considerably darker roast. And then I will increase my fuel to about maybe 1 kPa, just to, maybe not to 1 kPa. It will kind of depend on what I'm seeing here at the ROR, right? So the ROR is letting me kind of know if I need to increase or decrease my fuel. And I have set my readings to go every 30 seconds. So even I want even more data. So you're going to see even more juddering in my, I kind of want to know, be a little preemptive with it. I think the default is to calculate for every 1 minute. So with this one, I'm just calculating every 30 seconds. I think I have that set here in my ROR, and I can't adjust this here on the desktop, but I can adjust it when I'm at the roaster and using my tablet. So I'm into the third phase now, and depending on what you want to do with the coffee. So before roasting this, you probably have an idea of what you wanted to do, right? You were like, this is going to be a light, a medium, or a dark. Okay, so we'll just stay within these really easy realms. And then there are levels to those lights, mediums, and darks, right? So this, I don't have my roast log with me here, but this is most likely a medium. And what I want to do is make sure I monitor this. I'm slowly decreasing the heat as I need to. The air stays on high. And I'm looking for a certain DTR. So at this end, this percentage rate, I'm looking for maybe 20%, 19%, something like that. This is probably going to be a medium roast, just looking at my numbers here, and developing it for maybe 2 minutes. And so I'll try to hit these targets, and I won't always just go off of the time or the number. Everything has to kind of like check the box for me. So I'm looking at the time, I'm looking at the DTR percentage, I'm looking at the beans in the trier. I'm like, do they look like the color of the medium that I want to produce? Does that make sense? So I'm trying to check all the boxes. I'm looking at the ROR curve, things like that. I'm trying to balance all the things and just make sure I'm trying to hit all those boxes, okay? And so when I verify and see, that's kind of like, I'll look at the numbers first. I think I look at the numbers first. This is what my flow is right now. And then I verify and look at the trier, I look at the sight glass, and then I kind of like do this quick, like yes or no, is it done? And then I make that decision, and that's your call as a roaster to make that decision, and then you drop, right? So I drop, and this one was dropped at 398.6 and at 11 minutes and 43 seconds. And if I go and look at my roasts before that, I would want to make sure that that sort of matches up, okay? So the new thing that I've been doing that I've told you guys about is tracking now weight loss. So weight loss is a really cool way for you to also check another box to be consistent. So let me show you here. So here we have Brazil medium, 302, yeah. So we're charging at 350. This is my cheat sheet for myself. So once you develop your own production roast profiles and targets and goals, you can put them here like on a sheet like this. I've always done this. And then when I saw that Mike did it at Klatch, I was like, you know, validated in that approach. I was like, cool. I don't know exactly what he puts on his, but I tried putting like more data on here, and I'm going to keep, you know, workshopping this. But for now, this seems to work okay for me to sort of just get a glance and remember what I'm doing at the roaster and what my general targets are. So I'm looking for a 20% DTR, 19, so we were close. And then I'm also looking for a 14% weight loss. Okay, so this one's really important that I could tell right away at the roaster. Say if I made a mistake, right? Say I'm doing this Brazil medium, but when I do my calculation for weight loss, which is this, I'll give you that. The formula for weight loss, so it's, it's end weight. So you should have a scale with you, divided by initial weight. So for me, that'd be 1,000 grams, minus 1 will give you a decimal result, right? And then you just turn that into percentage by moving the decimal point over like back to your 4th grade math. Move the decimal point over 2 spaces, and that will give you your percentage. So let me give you an example. So for example, typically what I would get here at Brazil would be something like 73 or something. Let's just choose a number. Minus the bag weight, because I put my beans into a bag, and the bag weighs 52 grams. Okay, so that equals that number, all right? And then I go divided by 1,000 grams minus 1 equals 17.9. That's great. That's a crazy number. So it'd be 17.9%, for example. This would be way too high. That would mean I roasted it like super crazy. So if we put a real number in here, like, what did I say? Maybe like 925 minus 52 equals 873 divided by 1,000 minus 1. Okay, that looks better. So, like, for example, that's a 12.7%. Okay, that looks more like what you could get as a light roast. For me, when I'm doing Vietnam Light, for example, my weight loss, or light roasts in general, my weight loss tends to run within the 12% range to be a light roast. Okay, so we can be like 12 on the dot, or maybe even like 11 to be very light. So this is in the realm of light. This is in the realm of very, very, very dark. And then as you can see here, a medium runs in like 14. Brazil is like in 14. So you can be 14.3, 0.2, 0.6, and you will taste the difference in the cup. Okay? So you need to be exact. Like, I remember I would eyeball, or just like kind of like whatever, 1,001 grams, 1,005 grams, 998 grams, and like I was doing that for a while, for a minute, because I didn't know that it mattered so much. At first, when I first started, I was like trying to be very, very exact, but then I didn't really know why I was trying to be exact. So I would get lazy and be like, oh, let me just throw in 1,001 grams, right? So what difference does 1 gram, 2 grams, 3 grams make? Well, you won't know that until you actually cup it, okay? So I could tell you this all day long, but it won't really matter to you unless you go and do those kinds of tests yourself and run that data yourself and go, is this data result significant to me? Is it significant enough, like when you were in chemistry class, is this change significant? Meaning like, Is this something we need to be concerned about? Because, or is it insignificant, right? Or is it inconclusive? It's like, it doesn't matter, this one little gram. If that's true for you, then cool. You know, you're going to have to come up with your own style and systems, that's the really cool thing about roasting. It's like, there's no one way, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, back to weight loss. This is another way that I can kind of make sure at the roaster, if I'm being consistent, if I'm within the realm of, like if I said I want to deliver light and say I got a 12.3% for this Ecuador light, then I'd be like, that's okay, but I'll probably just for my own, you know, learning and staying on top of stuff, I'd still cup that and see what 12.3% tastes like versus like if say the next batch I did was maybe 12.6, I'll be like, oh man, I gotta make sure that I'm on that color change at the end when I'm trying to drop it here. Right, because like 1% more, 19% more can taste roastier in the cup, and I may lose that apricot or whatever it was, right? So when I'm trying to deliver on what I told you I would deliver, these little tiny numbers and percentages matter, right? To me, that's significant. But you got to figure out what's significant for you. Okay. And this is my production roast. So this is what I produce these at, you know, that I finish these at. Temperature, I've got that, and then like total time and stuff. So that's something that you could do. And then later on, when you really feel confident about it, like I put the RP or production roast or roast path ID right here so that I could underlay. And then when I'm doing a lot of light or medium or dark, or Vietnam or Brazil or Ecuador, I can lay that under and just try to match it every time and not have to think so, you know, critically about it. And I'm just trying to be more consistent with it. Okay. So that's the last phase. And then after that, what you should be doing, if you get any, you know, discrepancies outside of your own normal target ranges, then you have to, you know, kind of go back into your notes and see where you need to adjust stuff. And these are my like standard charges, and these could change as my time at the roaster progresses. So the longer the roaster stays on, like the hotter it stays, right? So you'll notice the difference between your fifth roast and your first roast. So first roast, kind of have to give it a little bit more oomph. And then on maybe like your last roast, you have to realize that the roaster is retaining a lot more energy and a lot more heat. And so it's running hotter. You know, it's running hotter. So charges can vary, right? So these are not final. These are all ranges and targets for me to aim at. How close I am to the target depending on all the other factors that surround you in the environment of roasting. And like I said, if you go back to the very first video, we talked about indiscrepancies of like inconsistencies in green, right? I don't know if it's in the first video, it may be a different video. But there can be inconsistencies in green that make it not behave the same way. So like, for example, this Brazil and my Vietnam, they typically are running a little bit like, they run faster than when I first got them because they're not this year's crop. I think Brazil was 2020 crop and so was Vietnam. So it's a year later, and you can see that age at the roaster, which is super interesting. Okay, so anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that, you know, you guys get to see like into what I'm doing currently right now. These are all the systems that I've been implementing since I got back from my roaster training, and then I've just been like hitting it hard, like getting in there and roasting a lot. And I think the best way to learn this stuff is for one to just go for it, just do it, you know, and try some stuff. If you feel that you have an idea, like go try it, like be curious, be like, I wonder, all these people are saying this, but I don't feel that and I'm not seeing that. And it's okay to go and try your own experiments, your own things, just, you know, document it, make sure you know you're documenting all of these changes. That way you can trace it back if it's like a cool discovery for yourself, right? But yeah, and have fun. Don't forget to have fun. This is all very fun, you know, nerd out, get excited. And if it didn't turn out the way that you wanted to, just know that, hey, nobody knows yet, right? So you can always go back and roast the way that makes you feel, you know, confident and happy, and you can always go back and try it again. And yeah, so anyway, hope that was helpful. I'm going to see you guys on the live. Now I'm deciding whether or not to go live on YouTube or on Instagram. So I think we'll just make it YouTube just so it's easy. That would be cool if it was Instagram, but I don't know how to do that, and I'm still figuring out how to do the live on YouTube. I'm not really proficient with that yet, so I'm going to get going with that. And yeah, I hope this thing was helpful, and I'll see you guys for the grand launch of everything. Everything has already kind of been launching as this week has gone on, because I didn't want to do it all on Monday. But the grand launch, and maybe we'll do something a little special on that day too. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe a giveaway, something like that. Maybe a good discount. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some ideas from you guys on the live on Saturday. It looks like we're going to do Saturday evening, because that's what people voted for. Saturday evening. And yeah, cool. Sounds good. All right. See you later, guys, in the next one.